Listen up.
Right, the other thing I should do is say that you are in charge of Birmingham, and that any other soldiers that are built should be joining them. And also, we're almost out of oil again. So we will need to buy in a little bit more. I think we're going to go with Peru. And then Colombia. Oh, I was going to say, have we seriously just finished all of the shipyard building? No. No, we have not. We have, however, done quite a few of them. That's impressive. I think I am going to import one. Thing of chromium. And yes, I'm aware I am buying that from someone I am currently actively fighting against. I'm doing that because I have full faith in our Soviet comrades that they will win this civil war.
Call in.
Damn it, you do take a while to arrive. Oh, you arrive tomorrow and you arrive in 9 days. Okay, we're fine.
Hey, sir.
So, what are the big objectives here? Where can I do the most good? Nizhny Novgorod almost certainly. Help take out these positions, get in behind. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to deploy here the intention of taking Nizhny Novgorod. Military intelligence. We are syndicalists. Political power, consumption, decryption. I do like the idea of that. Oh, it's Arthur Horner. Yeah, so the head of intelligence is also going to be the head of state. This is definitely a recipe for just goodness. Or I could not spend anything and then we'll have enough to get some companies. Let's do that. Is Twitch Twitch? What do you mean it's Twitch Twitch? What's my strongest Paradox game? I would think it's European Universalis. So it's a little bit gutting that I didn't win yesterday. I feel like I needed to win yesterday to stay in with a chance of winning the whole thing. I think I pulled off a hell of a comeback, considering where Genoa was and who I was up against. But yeah, 1 month. Spoilers, 1 month. Ian Fleming is a totalist head of intelligence. Yes, I'd seen that. Is Twitch doping up for anyone else? I'm not getting any dropped frames, so it's not my end. And we are still running out of oil. So these 36 ships are too expensive. I do not want to buy any more oil. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys home. And we'll start training something else. And then we have some spare destroyers, which is absolutely fine. We're going to have so many submarines, it's going to be insane.
Ready.
Alright, status quo is done, so we now have loads of political power, and I think I am going to do evolution. So that I can get that 10 base stability, then we'll start working on the industrialist stuff. Both the Autonomous and the Maximus are trying to change an already working machine. British syndicalism is fine as it is, if only they would understand that. And now we are going to get... Oh, no. Partial mobilization. And industrial thingy-mablobby. And then the other question is, how on earth do I get that oil production thing? Does the OB get the big boost from coal liquefaction plants? It's supposed to, but I don't know how. It's got to be an event, because I don't see anything obvious where it could be from any of this stuff. And we certainly didn't start with it. Yeah, thank you, Dana. I was about to say that too. Where's the other guy? Why are you taking so long? Come on, take the train. Choo-choo! Alright, now nobody is training, so we should be regaining our fuel stocks pretty nicely. Decision, maybe? Nope. Alright, yeah, that's 40 days until we have full stocks again, which is pretty nice. Mechanical computing is done. It's still July 36. So a little bit too early to go ahead of time. You know what, though? We do still need more planes. I think I will... invest in close air support. Oh, the Germans are helping. And also the Russian units are way under strength. Interesting. Empire of Japan declared war on Transmura. That's not very nice. Let's have you counterattack, see what we can do here. So I wanted you to attack northeast, so of course you go southeast. What? You what, mate? How far in is this campaign? Just started. And once we're out of the woods, we should be able to push them pretty hard. Oh. Oh, excellent. Right, well, I would say let's start building some factories and things. Put some there, and some... No, let's keep it with civilians for now. Let's do something like this. Yes. Although, actually, how many civilians do we have? 33. I'd like to get up to 45-ish, probably. Actually, do I? We don't actually have that many build slots. So no, I don't think we do. We're going to start militarizing right now. Because we are stacking up some pretty hefty construction speed bonuses, which should allow us to industrialize quicker than we otherwise could.
Attention!
You two are doing all of this damage with absolutely zero planning prep. Ooh, this is a good opportunity to counterattack against the Germans too, crikey. Because the Germans are going to be out of organisation, and we should be able to push them once this guy is done. No? Don't fancy it? Too bad.
Ready to move.
How are you guys performing? Pretty well. I can respect that. Right, and we can also modify the government again. I think we now have everything we want, with the exception of war economy, but I don't think we're going to be able to get that anytime soon. So let's go and get Arthur Horner in charge so we can get that decryption and supply consumption reduction, especially because we're currently fighting a land war in Russia. Radio detection's done, cool. Those are all 38 techs. We do need to start on land doctrine, so here's the next question. Which doctrine do we want to follow? It does somewhat look like superior firepower is going to be our thing, because our tanks are junk. Grand Battle Plan? Possibly? We do get big bonuses to planning. Gone superior firepower in the last 3 Hearts of Iron games, I swear. No, it was Mobile Warfare in the Two Sicilies game. Need to remember what the advantages are. And also, this does somewhat depend on which direction we go here. So we're going to dissolve the militias. Division organization goes up. Planning speed goes up. Max planning goes up. You know what? I think we are going to go mobile warfare just because we're going to have really high base organization anyway, and this is just going to allow it to go even higher. So we're going to go mobile warfare. Start working on it. We also need to start working on naval doctrines, actually, thinking about it. So how are the two sides doing for industries and stuff? We're only actually slightly behind, and we have manpower, they don't. Interesting. There's 4. Superior firepower, sorry. Mobile warfare, which is tanks, mechanized and motorized, and also just generally high organizations. Superior firepower, which is all about artillery damage output, and also can buff up your support companies if you want to use support company fightiness. Then there's Grand Battle Plan, which is all about planning preparation, which has been really heavily nerfed. Used to be really good. And then there's Mass Assault, which is all about having just giant blocks of troops to throw at your opponent. National focus completed. David Sterling has been... Oh, damn it.
All in.
Let's bring in the other guy. Which was... Got. Got's a defensive commander, though. I want offensive. So I think Briggs. I really want to use some of the cavalry commander experience things that we saw on the weekend. Those were clever. Those were interesting. Alright, let's do the central research. To prepare our syndicalist industry for the fight against the capitalists, we must establish the Department for Central Industry Research. This office will help us overcome inefficiency. Also, we have full oil supplies, so you guys can once again put to sea and start training.
Yes, sir.
Let's go there. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Why are you attacking here? You have zero reasons to attack there.
Taking cover. Taking cover.
Indochina declares independence after the Weltkrieg. Germany seized French Indochina, but stability wasn't restored until Germany crushed the South China revolutionaries in 1926. Now, Indochina nationalists and leftists under a coalition government called the Viet Minh have risen up against the colonial regime. Unfortunately, they've taken Nizhny-Novgorod. Would have been nice to seize that, but we're in a pretty good position to do so. And also, we're just inflicting damage. Though the ratios aren't amazing. German tanks. Are we fighting the German units again? No, they're stuck there. Okay. Factories! I would like to work on some more light tanks, I think. Those are the thing I am short on right now. And that is what I want to be sending as volunteers. Alright, September 36. Let's get Naval Doctrine going. So, what did we decide? We decided base strike, didn't we? I mean, if we want to use the escort carriers, we can do that too. Because I do think I'm going to start building more of the small carriers. Because Fleet and Being does have quite a few carrier bonuses. It's just that the base strike ones are better. And the thing that's interesting about base strike is it also buffs your land-based naval bombers. So if you don't think you're going to build a navy at all and just do everything with land-based bombers, you should go base strike. Because of that, port strikes plus 50%. That's for anything. I just like Fleet and Being. It's just really well rounded. Carrier sub-detection plus 25. I'm wondering if there's any other carrier sub-detection. No. But carriers in general do get quite a lot stronger. Sod it, we never do base strike. We're going base strike. Decided the USA shouldn't have all the fun, so you declared war on Germany. Britain joined in, the USA got access rights through me, now all I've got to do is hold Maginot. That does sound like it's going to be interesting. Will I have the industry for base strike? Should do. And also just the fact that the Union of Britain starts with that many carriers kind of suggests that that's the direction that they just see themselves going. And also, I'm just curious about how it works. Alright, so we've got Central Industry Research, so we can now get the British rail system, which I think is the one that I'm going to go for. Although we are now building military factories. Although the civilian factory upgrades would let us do that faster. Let's get the infrastructure. British Rail Syndicate is a horrid state. By investing into our infrastructure, we'll ensure flawless cooperation between the syndicates all over the island. Are you guys trained yet? You are, so we can now add you to his units. Oh, right! These guys aren't actually trained. Huh. Well, okay then. How far through are you? I think I'm going to go ahead and deploy them.
Orders.
We'll set you in there as well. So we're still going to be fairly short on tanks and things, but we are building more. We're trying to, anyway. That was the province that we just took, wasn't it?
Ready to move. Orders.
Apparently I just misread it completely. Oh no, they are trained.
Ready to move.
I have no idea. I do feel like I could probably send a bit more infantry equipment to Russia. No, in fact, we're going to continue doing the infantry equipment. We're not changing that. Oh, except for the fact that we can now get fighters. We're going to upgrade the fighter carriers. And now we're going to build some fighters. There we are. Build me some fighter hurricanes, please. And I will import the rubber to make that production more efficient. Buy it from Ecuador. And we have factories again. Oh, wait, that's why, because I didn't actually click you up to the maximum. There we are. Huey Long elected President of the United States. Despite the massive instability rampant in the nation ever since the Great Depression in 1925, the presidential elections went forwards and the voting results were clear. Huey Long of the America First Union Party is the 32nd President of the United States. Alright, so I want to upgrade the armored divisions with a little bit more motorized. Let's make that 2 more. Then we'll probably go for 2 more tanks as well. 40 organization, this seems pretty decent. So now I think I'm going to beef up the motorized production. Ed80, thank you very much for the follow. And we got that free Abrams. Thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Alright, are we attacking Nizhny Novgorod yet? Almost. And you guys are actually trying to defend way more territory than I really care about right now. You may defend this. And here, let me make you rethink your current course in life. Getting a good amount of experience from this. Elections in Italy. The elections in the Republic of Italy have ended with the election of the Prime Minister Alcide de Gasperi, head of the Partito Popolare Italiano. And then the other thing I want to do is upgrade these. Actually, they do have a combat width of 20 already. We could add support artillery. I do think that we probably should. Give you some bigger bangs for your bucks. Right, and then we can continue building up our military infrastructure. do have a lot of support
Keep on
equipment too.
moving!
So once we have 10 army experience, we can do some more. Go wrong ways again. Guys,
Taking cover!
stop that.
Go, go, go!
There you go. See what happens when you work together towards a common goal? Good things, that's what. Are you trained? You're trained. Send out the next group then. Which are actually way more fuel efficient. Good to know. British rail reforms. Excellent. So now let's start expanding the industry in Wales. The capitalist regime of old neglected Wales for centuries and allowed, if not outright, encouraged the gradual depopulation of the region as its labourers migrated to England City for menial jobs. The great economic potential of Wales and its people thus remains largely untapped. For the benefit of all, we must invest in Welsh industry. And we can get another upgrade. I think we probably do want to go to limited conscription. There's no downside to this. We may even want to think about which ship manufacturers we want. I think probably Camel Laird and possibly Hawker. I mean, Supermarine's upgrades are really nice, but just Hawker's numbers. Fighters and carrier fighters. I mean, this is fighters and carrier fighters too. Maybe I don't upgrade my ships. I can't believe I'm actually thinking about playing a Britain without upgraded ships. Just Hawker and Supermarine are so strong.
Fall in!
Please support that. Thanks.
Let's go!
I know you're getting some nice experience. You are, actually. The oil question. Here we go. It's been decades since we forced the capitalists out, yet we can't rest. Not until they are defeated will we be safe. But to defeat them, the workers' spirit will not be enough. There are no two ways around it. Without oil, our planes, tanks and ships are nothing but scrap, no matter the skill of their crew. Since we first realised the issue, monumental effort has been spent attempting to cultivate domestic sources for oil. Some, like the shale coals in Scotland, have seen mild success. Others, like the French oil fields, have been near total failures. Fortunately, many saw this coming, and so resources are already being put towards researching synthetic sources of oil. If we divert enough resources in this direction, it may just be possible. So we need to do some oil refineries, and in fact, that is something that we should probably start building.